Welcome to High Stakes. I'm your host, Tracey Devlyn. On this show, I chat with authors about the moments in their stories that change everything, what's at stake, what it costs, and why we can't look away. From thrillers to romance to sci-fi and beyond. Let's get to it. I'm here with Isha Raya to talk about her debut sapphic psychological thriller, You'll Never Forget Me. Welcome to the show, Isha.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
So happy to have you. It's always fun having debut authors on this show, and yeah, I'll have a few questions for you that's specific to your debut, experience that you've had a little bit later. But one of the things I wanted to ask you is that I noticed that you are from Texas and you have a biology degree. And I
Mhm.
just have to ask, how is it that you come to write such disturbing, complex characters based in Hollywood?
I mean, it's a good question. Yeah, I've always like had a pretty big like imagination. I would say I've always loved storytelling. Like when I was younger, my dad would tell us bedtime stories and he would come up with like the most ridiculous characters, and so I guess it's kind of like in my genes. Um But yeah, I think I originally wanted to go into the medical field, but I got kind of burnt out of it. But I have been writing my whole life. It's like one thing I've never grown tired of, never got burnt out of, and so I'm really glad it ended up working out this way.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was a great book, and it's amazing to me that this is your debut novel. There's a lot of interesting themes in there, and just the character dynamics between Dimple and Safi, and it just there's a very, very, very good, great job for a debut. Just great job.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. That means a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, you betcha. Well, why don't you, I guess before we dive into the book, why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself and your writing journey and just whatever you're comfortable with sharing.
Right, yeah. As you know, I've studied biology. And then I ended up writing. I've written like probably this ended up being the third full novel that I had completed. Before that, I would write like short stories. I would write like, little little like things here and there, journaling. Um, and this was a story that I felt really like compelled to, like really drawn to, and I felt like it could be something. And so I decided to just query it and see what happened, and it ended up working out really well. But yeah, I'm drawn to stories about villain characters, complex characters, and so that's probably why I end up writing about them. I just feel like villains are so much more interesting. You get to
They
like,
are.
right?
They
Like
so are.
they're always my favorite characters. Like the narrative lets them be really unhinged, and that's really fun for me. Um, and so yeah, I met my wonderful agent through a query critique. And then here I am.
Oh, that's great. I was curious because we have a lot of writers that watch the show as well, and I that was actually going to be one of my questions if you wouldn't mind sharing how you kind of like met up and connected with your agent. So it was a query critique. Is this like at a conference type of thing?
Um, are you familiar with a DV pit?
No, no, I'm not. Mm-mm.
It's a pitching event. It used to be on Twitter, and then they moved to Discord, and I think now they're on Bluesky.
Okay.
And so they had a critique giveaway, and so I entered that, and I ended up winning the giveaway. And so through
Oh.
email, Amy critiqued my query, and I think it's kind of ironic that she helped me shape it up only for me to end up signing with her. But
Yeah,
she
that's
was,
great.
yeah, she ended up liking it, and she said, once it's ready to send her the first few, like 100 pages or something like that, and um, that's how I met her.
I'll be
I
darned.
was also doing some cold querying between there too, but she was the first agent I sent my query to, or my
All
query and
right.
my sample pages.
And what is the name of this again? This that you said it's on Blue Sky now. What is it called again?
It's called DV Pit, stands for Diverse Voices Pit.
Got it. Okay, DV
Hmm.
Pit. Okay, great.
Hmm.
Well, I'll add that to the show notes so folks can get to it. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
All right. So I always leave it up to the author to talk about the book itself, just so that I don't give away any spoilers. So what can you tell us about You'll Never Forget Me?
Yeah, You'll Never Forget Me is a sapphic thriller. It's about Dimple Kapoor, who's a struggling actress who accidentally kills her rival and then ends up landing her dream starring role because of it. And as she's cleaning up her mess, she also has to contend with the private investigator who's sort of poking around. And as their cat and mouse game kind of intensifies, they also are very drawn to each other and they have to deal with some complicated feelings arising from that as well.
Yeah, no, it's I think it had been a while since I read the back cover, from the time I read the back cover to the time I'm sorry, from the time I read the book, and I wrote the book. Yeah, and so I had forgotten about that dynamic between Dimple and Seffi, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So yeah, it turned out to be a surprise for me because I didn't expect that extra level of complication between in their relationship, if you want to call it that. So yeah,
Right.
that was good. It's very
I'm
good.
glad. Thank you.
Yeah. So on this show, we like to talk about story stakes.
Mhm.
Love, death, the fate of the realm are all high stakes in the story. But what I'd like to do is delve just a little bit deeper beneath the surface and find out what is personally, or what was personally on the line for Dimple and Safi, and maybe what happens if they fail.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to the point I am in my life that a lot of the stories I want to tell end up being about ambition. And so both of these characters, they're very drawn and driven by ambition. Like Dimple, she's a struggling actress, right? And she's really trying to make it in this world. But she's competing against another Indian actress, and they're kind of both told that you can't both succeed because you look too similar unless you want to be like a stunt double for her. And so whenever she ends up accidentally killing her, she sees it for the opportunity that it is and she takes it. But she also knows that there's going to be a lot of eyes on her. And if she messes up, she's never going to be able to make it in the industry again because she'll be, she's being very perceived by so many people. And it's kind of similar for Safi as well, because she is a private investigator, but her dad is also Arizona's only Indian mayor or Indian senator. And so she has not only her own career on the line, if she gets into a scandal, it also reflects poorly on her father. And so she has her family to worry about. And then there's, of course, the fact that Dimple is very willing to kill anyone who gets in her path, and Safi is very much getting in her path. So
Yes.
there's a few things that could go wrong.
Yeah, and you're wondering, all through the book, how this is going to tie up because of that dynamic that
Hmm.
Dimple is she'll just do it. She'll just take you out. Not a
Hmm.
problem.
And she won't feel bad about it.
No, no, she didn't seem to. No. Well, what do you hope readers will think about long after they finish this story?
Yeah, it's something I thought about while writing it, and so I hope it sticks with people is the idea of justice and fairness and what that means to you. Like what is equitable, what is fair, when do the ends justify the means? And, if some people are given natural advances in life, and if you like what will it take to even the playing field? Is that even possible in our society? And
Mhm.
people who go to extremes to get certain things, um, it may not be right, but is it understandable? Like, I hope people really like consider things like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, no, that's great. All right, good deal. So, debut authors, they are exposed to a lot of firsts, right? First agent, first contract, first editor, book cover, interview. So, what I always like to ask debut authors, because there are so many of those wonderful firsts. They're sometimes terrifying, but almost always wonderful. But what has been the most, I guess, joyful first for you?
Oh, it's such a good question.
It's
There's been
probably
so
hard to
many.
pick. I know.
Yeah, there's so many.
I know it's not fair. It's not fair at all.
I think maybe just because it's the most recent on my mind, but I think it also had a really big impact on me is seeing my finished copies for the first time. I got them, I think,
Yes.
last week or something like that, so very recently. And getting to like take off the dust jacket and see the foil on the inside and flip through the pages and see my name on the cover, it was something like I think
Surreal,
even
right?
very surreal. even
Yeah.
seeing my advanced copies was really crazy, but I wasn't expecting to be that hit by seeing the final copy since it already held my book in my hands. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was very, very special.
Yeah, good deal. Yeah, that's always a special moment for sure for every author, I think. And and I hate to say this, but it's like that first book, you never quite get that feeling again.
Oh my
It's just
goodness.
so special. I mean, it's always great seeing your book, always, 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 but there's just something really intense and special about the first one for sure. So enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So what would be the best writing advice you've ever been given, or is there some kind of writing philosophy that helped you get through writing this book? And I'm presumably you're into your sophomore book now as well. Anything you would like to share, or anything you can think of?
Yeah, I actually think about this all the time. I think I saw it online for the first time, but especially when I'm revising, it really sticks with me is that every sentence that you write should serve two purposes. And so whenever I go through and I'm revising and I'm like taking, especially for thrillers, you have to be very fast paced and things have to move along pretty quickly. So I try to look at every sentence. And I think it's especially true when I'm looking at descriptor things. Like if I'm describing a room and I'm like, oh, the rug is blue. And I look at that, I'm like, okay, the rug is blue, but what is the point of the sentence? And I try to like say like, could also be foreshadowing? Could it be like, could it tell you something about the character who's observing it? Something like that to really make sure that everything I write has intention and that I'm not just saying words to say words or like fill up word counts.
Right, right, yeah, absolutely. Everything has to serve a purpose, has to serve the story and move it forward,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great one. I love that one a lot.
Yeah, it's the English class thing where it's like, oh, the curtains are blue. Well, the curtains are never just blue. It always has like something else.
So my last question for you here is just one that would be a little bit fun is what is one thing that readers might be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, what's weird is I feel like not when people don't know I'm an author and I meet them in public and I tell them I write thrillers, they're always really shocked by that. I don't know like what genre I look like I write, but I feel like that's always surprising. But for readers, I think maybe that I have a background in biology might be shocking. Um, because it's a very like very big pivot, I think.
Yeah,
Like going from
yeah.
working in a lab to writing
Science to
thrillers.
creative, right? Science
Hmm.
to creative. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, before we go, can you share what's coming up next?
Yeah, I'm currently working on a sapphic heist novel, my sophomore novel. I don't have too many details because it's in the very early stages, but I'm like very much looking forward to it. And I have my launch event coming up. Next month is uh release day, so very excited. Lots of
Yeah.
exciting things to come.
Yeah, you'll be busy. You'll be busy writing and
Hmm.
busy promoting at the same time.
Absolutely.
And at some point you'll probably be editing, in there
Oh
and
my
or,
goodness,
so
yes.
yeah, it depends on how your schedule works out. But it's so amazing when I hear authors or see it on social media that they're doing multiple things, trying to get multiple things done in the same time period as they're launching their book. It's like, oh my gosh, so busy.
It's very, very busy.
Well, that sounds great. We'll look forward to seeing that for sure. So,
Thank
folks,
you.
be sure to order your copy of You'll Never Forget Me Today. You can learn more about Isha at theisharaya.com, where you'll also find all of her social links. Isha, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on the release of your debut novel. It's so exciting. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. It was a great time.
That's it for today's high stakes story. Follow the show so the next episode lands right in your feed. And if you enjoyed today's chat, a quick rating or review helps new listeners find us. Visit tracydevlyn.com/podcast for show notes and links to today's amazing guest and their fabulous book. High Stakes is a proud member of the Authors on the Air Global Radio Network. Thanks for listening. Until next time, enjoy the adventure, everyone.